She's fantastic, and let's all send our love to Annette for all the good that she's done. She's an independent in her own right. She's an amazing individual, but as part of the team of Max and Annette, they were just second to none. I have a great deal of affection for that, but I have more affection for all of you, for the hard work that you do. This is exactly what Max would have done. He would have come to this convention, he would have sat through endless nominations, he would have been here at the end of the night, and then for many years he would have gotten in his car, driven over the mountain to Accord, and in the later years gotten in his car and driven down to New Paltz, long after the rest of us were too tired to drive. This is hard work being a Democrat, isn't it? It's hard work being an activist Democrat. And I can tell you it's hard work being a candidate. And I'm not talking about me right now, I'm talking about that whole row of people who came up here tonight and asked you to give them your support. They are so deserving of your support. They work so hard. And can I ask you a question? Can you do me a favor? Let's address something that Beth talked about here for a minute. Ulster County was divided. It was divided 4 ways in the Assembly. It was divided 4 ways in the Senate, in a process that left a bad taste even in the mouth of the most hardened politician. Many of my colleagues held their nose and said we have to be expeditious about this and move forward, but I looked at my home county and I said there is no way on this earth that I could vote for that plan, and I didn't. They divided Ulster County. Now I'm going to ask you to do me a favor and prove them so wrong. Be united this year. Be united for all these great folks who need your help to get elected. And I promise you, if you get them elected, you will be so proud to be this generator of fantastic candidates for the state legislature. And we need them. You know, Ash Menson, and by the way, thank you so much. I love you. You're amazing. Let's around for that. Mentioned just briefly marriage equality this year. A little discussed fact about marriage equality is that it lost votes in the Assembly this year. It was actually closer, last year, closer than it had ever been before when it came before the legislature. It had lost about 6 votes. And I'm here to tell you that none of my good Republican friends who will be running against my new Democratic friends lifted a finger to give us 1 more vote when it looked like we might need it. And I guarantee you that none of our friends that are running for the Senate on the other side of the aisle would have supported it if they were given the chance in the Senate, or did not support it when they were given the chance. The people that stood here tonight on that one issue would have made a difference last year and will make a difference next year when the next marriage equality issue comes about, when the next progressive issue is considered in the state legislature and there's a wavering on the part of some of my colleagues in the Assembly, and there's an inability to get past that 1 or 2 vote edge to give us a majority in the Senate. If you put these people in Albany, if we work hard to put them in those seats, at those desks, in those offices, we won't have to worry about that anymore. We will have progressive policy from here until as far as we can see, and in 2 years we'll be popping champagne corks in this room to talk about what a great job we did, that the people who tried to divide Ulster County united us, made us even stronger, and that we put more people in office than any other place in this state. We can do it. We can do it. And we have amazing issues coming up. You know, the people that we see every day at the convenience store, the people who maybe work at the dry cleaner, the folks who work in our restaurants, in fact, they don't even make this much, they're making $7.25 an hour. They're working 120 hours a month to pay the rent. A movie ticket for a family of 4 means that somebody has to work for 4 or 6 hours just to afford to take their family to the movie. And we can't get the Senate to raise it just a little tiny bit to a wage that people can stand. Do we want a minimum wage increase in New York State? Do you want a minimum wage increase in New York State? fracking. Fracking has become a political football. It's been the subject of a lot of campaign finance issues, and I could go on and on. But there's real common sense at the bottom of this debate. And that common sense is we are simply not prepared in this state to allow what the federal government pushed on us when they exempted fracking from the Clean Waters Act. We're not ready. We're not ready. Let me tell you how I know. When the state of Pennsylvania decided that they wanted fracking, they had the state-of-the-art rules and regulations. And they had an incredible environmental department to do it. They were going to administer those regulations, and it was going to be completely safe in Pennsylvania. But something happened. Their state-of-the-art regulations turned out to not take into consideration some of the science that came around the corner about a week or a month later. And that incredible, well-staffed environmental department lost 20% of their workforce. Well, we're in the same boat. We're about to create the state-of-the-art regulations, but each day we hear more and more problems. We're hearing about clusters of problems where, coincidentally, there's clusters of fracking. And oh, that Department of Environmental Conservation, we didn't lose 20%. We lost 25% of our environmental department. We are not ready. We will not be ready. The Senate has to recognize that. They have to join us in a moratorium. Do we need a moratorium against fracking?
Yeah.
Standing in the back of the room, I started taking notes on issues just like those two. I'm not going to go through each one. We don't have enough time, and you're not as tough as Max, and you're not ready to go to the mountain months later. But there are a dozen different issues where you can make that difference by electing people to the state legislature and making it happen. And I'll close just by telling you, Frank, that Frank Skartatos was not able to pull rank and get out of Albany early, so I send greetings for Frank Skartatos. But I stand here tonight also saddened by the fact that I will not be running for the first time in a very long time with Maurice Hinchey. We have a job to do in this county, ladies and gentlemen. We have to send, in this case, to Albany, and in some cases back to Washington, in the case of the congressional race, in the case of the United States Senate race, people of the caliber that we have done before with Maurice Hinchey, people with the courage that we had with Maurice Hinchey, people with the stamina and the drive to do the right thing. Do you want people elected to office who are as good as Maurice Hinchey?
Yes.
It's in this room. We are a strong committee in a county that is the engine of democratic politics for virtually every district you heard about here tonight. And the districts that you heard about the last time we had a convention, and probably the next time we have a convention all this year. We're the place where it can all start. We're the place that can make it work. We're counting on you. I didn't get a chance, as Terry pointed out, to tell you much about myself. Damn it, if you don't know by now. So with that, I want to close and say thank you, Mom. I love you. And